Attention, everybody. The views expressed on this show are not necessarily those of Acts Ministry, Acts Media Group, and or their affiliate supported ministries and or nonprofits. So without any further ado, here's Tom and Amber, Something to Celebrate.
Hello. Good morning, everybody. Our music is... Oh, this is really...
It's really soft.
This is just for the seniors in the group who don't want to be startled this morning, Tom.
Yeah, there we go.
Am I being considerate of you?
Yes. You just didn't just blast it.
You know, this actually sounds like if we were on a a deserted island and hearing Jim Wellborn in the distance singing. This is probably the ultimate paradise.
Now there's a picture right there. But we love Jim.
We do love Jim.
What's going on with your...
My dongling is not dongling correctly, so I don't know what's going on.
Well, that's going to be interesting for the interview.
Just hold it up to a microphone.
Hello. By the way, this is Something to Celebrate. I'm Amber.
And I'm Tom.
And thank you, Matt, for joining us today, and thank you everybody out there who are in their studio, their home studios, watching this.
Yep.
With the kids.
And hopefully you have not gathered in crowds of more than 50 to listen to this broadcast.
Oh, come on. We are people of faith, and we hope that there's a crowd of 50 somewhere.
Yes. It kind of boils down to this. Just plead the blood of Jesus and use some good old common sense.
Yeah, exactly. And we do have a lot of sanitizer.
Yes.
Although, toilet roll, normally, I saw a great meme that says, we hope that the next virus isn't related to diarrhea, or we will have a nose spray.
That sounds about right. Yesterday's title of my show was Toilet Paper? Really?
I have a meme on my wall that's great. It's the old Scooby-Doo, that who's behind this virus, and they pulled it off, and it was the Charmin Bear.
Yep.
The Charmin Bear. Tom, we are celebrating a word of the day as well.
Yeah, just give me a smile there, Amber. Okay, that's great. So that is a giggle mug.
That's me.
So a giggle mug is a habitually smiling face. Have you ever known people that have a giggle mug? I mean, just no matter how things are going, they're always grinning from ear to ear.
Yeah, the habitually smiling face.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Constantly, yes.
Yes, that's awesome. And we also have Matt giving us a quick word from Acts Media Group.
Yes, if you like what you're seeing here, and if you like what is going on with Acts Ministry, then there are ways to contribute, ways to support what we're doing here. So, Matt, kind of fill us in a little bit.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Tom and Amber. Great to see you guys here today. What he's talking about is we are wanting to partner with you guys to continue to grow and expand our ministry and our programming, not just here on Acts Media Group or Acts Media Group on the shows, but also we have autism awareness projects and programs. We have a kidney fund where we help to offset the cost by covering some of the co-pays for the people who have just had a transplant. Also, we have Veterans Church, elder care issues. We have a Helping Hands Fund for those people who need some particular natural supplements and can't afford them. We help to offset the cost for that. Now, we are a worldwide ministry. We have Acts Television Network. We also have the Real News Review on axmediagroup.com. So if you'll look, I'm going to put the website right now below here, axmediagroup.com. And you can go on there, check out the Real News Review, see our shows from last week and some of our most updated shows. Also, right there at the bottom of it, on the right, you'll see a Donate Here button. Now, there you can set up a one-time donation, or you can become a monthly partner with us and set up a monthly donation to Acts Media Group, Acts Ministry, and Acts Ministry Church International. So we're asking you to partner with us and to help us continue to grow. So that being said, back to the show at hand. Take it away, guys.
Well, we're celebrating a lot today. St. Patrick's Day is today.
Yes.
Luck of the Irish, or not Lick of the Irish, which we're abstaining from, but Luck of the Irish.
Luck of the Irish. Yes, and the whole month is American Red Cross Month, as Jay said, strangely appropriate for what's going on right now. International Ideas Month.
Yeah.
And there are some, speaking of ideas, on the way in, I was listening to the radio, and there are some discussion about some previously created medications that may be helping with coronavirus.
Yes.
So that's interesting. Just people thinking outside the box a little bit. National Craft Month.
Yes.
National Peanut Month. And, of course, all month is Women's History Month.
Yes.
And Amber, as you mentioned, today is St. Patty's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Campfire Girls Day, and you get this Submarine Day. And if we have time, we'll talk about why is today National Submarine Day.
I got a sinking feeling about this.
It just goes down from
You
there.
guys couldn't hear the collective O's that happened when I said that one.
That's awesome. So we have, the exciting thing today is St. Patrick's Day, and I see, Matt, you have a shade of green going on here, so for those people who are having to get in their social distance pinching today, or the kiss me and elbow bump me, I'm Irish. That's the new.
And actually, St. Patrick's Day celebrates the death of St. Patrick, who was a patron saint of Ireland, and believed to have died in 461 AD. But what a lot of people don't understand is that he was not Irish. He was born in Roman Britain, so he was born somewhere in England, Scotland, or Wales, and at the age of 16, he was kidnapped and taken to Ireland as a slave.
Wow.
And during his time in captivity, he turned to his Christian faith. He escaped 6 years later, began religious training, and later returned to Ireland as a missionary. And some credit him with bringing Christianity to the country, but it is believed a bishop known as Palliadatius had been doing mission work there since 431. So it's likely that this missionary ministered to those who were already Christians while converting others. And the first St. Patrick's Day parade was held in New York City on March 17th, 1762.
Yes.
Wow, a long time ago. Irish soldiers serving in the
1762.
English military were the ones who got that started.
Yeah.
And speaking of green, St. Patrick's Day is associated with green, but that wasn't always the case.
Really?
Yeah, the color blue was originally associated with St. Patrick. The change to green may have been because green was the color used by those who were pushing for Irish independence in the 18th century. So just a few little tidbits, and there's more there if we have time. But
so technically, you're celebrating the origins of St. Patrick's Day with blue.
Yep.
There
we go.
There you go. So
my blue.
You got your blue on. Now, you are very, you're very Irish.
Yes.
Tom.
Yeah. My dad's birth father was his name was Harry Aloysius Malone.
Oh yes.
So and just on a kind of a side note, he and my grandma never married. So Young is actually my grandmother's maiden name.
Wow.
So had there actually been a matrimonial there, had they actually gotten married, my last name would be Malone, Thomas Malone.
Thomas Malone.
But yes, grandson of Harry Aloysius.
Aloysius. Would you I would hope that would be your middle name.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Aloysius.
That would have been great.
Tom, you're looking very Aloysius today.
Leave him alone.
Yes.
So do you guys have any traditional St. Patrick's Day things that you like to do, or some stuff you like to eat? Do you like to eat the cabbage?
Well, I do, but my wife never got into that. She is, her side of the family is more British and Scottish.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy when I was, it's crazy, but while I was in Israel just a couple of weeks ago at one of the hotels, they had something I hadn't had for years that my mama used to make all the time. She was Irish as well, on the Costello. Her maiden name was Costello, but it was like a stuffed cabbage.
Yes.
I had not had that in many, many, many years.
Wow.
And ironically, I was in Israel when I had a taste of that again.
Apparently, there's some leprechauns there, in the cuisine of Israel.
Yes, you never know what you're going to find at the buffet.
Well, we have some exciting person joining us from London Calling Pasty Company, and I got it working.
I'm really hoping. Oh, you got it working?
Yes, I did. I got it working.
I was worried about that. You should be the technician.
If you heard the buzz.
Top of the morning to you.
Top of the morning to you, Neil. How are you doing today out there? Do you have your green on?
Of course I do. I have my little green hat on. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I've got a pint of Guinness in one hand. My breakfast.
Oh, that's awesome. And you're doing deliveries, but probably not with a pint of Guinness.
No.
Is it Guinness gravy? Guinness gravy.
That's right. You're right. Absolutely. The alcohol's been burnt out. I've been cooking it. 30 minutes, so we're fine.
No, it's Guinness gravy. And you guys have your corned beef pasty, and you're going to help people celebrate St. Pat's today by delivering. You've been delivering for, let's talk about that. You are actually gone on the road with London Calling, and you're doing home deliveries of the take and bake.
That's right, yeah. So we started at the beginning of this year doing the deliveries, and they've gone really well. And obviously, in the light of what's happening at the moment, we're heavily promoting it because people with the contact issue, we've got this service where we take the order online. So somebody puts their order in on their computer or a phone and pays for it, and then I come and deliver it to the door, frozen, wrapped up. So.
Yes.
And then I drop it off at the door, so nobody has to touch anything, and it's a door-to-door service, so they don't have to go out either, and
That's
they can stay in the
awesome.
comfort of their own home and
so
have a meal. Yeah.
Are you delivering in the elf costume? I mean, this is something I would pay to just see.
If that's what it takes, Amber, I will absolutely do it for you.
Song and dance and Cornish pasties. That's what I think that we should be delivering today.
I'll sing some folk songs for you, a little bit of a wild rover.
A little bit of Morris dancing there.
Oh, that's a great tradition that's lost. We need to bring that over here.
What are some of the things that you love about St. Patrick's Day? I know that Britain technically is England, Scotland, Ireland, Wales, but
Northern Ireland.
No, I mean Northern Ireland. I know neither. That's Great Britain, England, Scotland.
Wales and Northern Ireland, yeah.
That's United Kingdom.
Oh, gotcha.
So Great Britain is the Isle of Great Britain, and United Kingdom includes Northern Ireland. So sorry about that. That was a big faux pas, and my husband would be leering at me right now. So what are the things that you love about St. Patrick's Day?
So back home, it's funny. It's an Irish tradition and everything, but that everybody supported it. And, being an old, when I was over 18 and everything, it would be a fun time to go to the pub. And it was the only time that I ever drank Guinness because I was never a big fan of it.
Yes.
Any other time of the year, but it was one of those times of the year where I celebrated and maybe have a pint of Guinness. And I'll never forget the best time that I ever had a pint of Guinness was on St. Patrick's Day in Ireland, and went to Dublin, and we went to the factory where the Guinness factory, and I have never tasted a better pint of Guinness, and I absolutely loved it as well. But typically it wasn't a drink I ever drank any other time apart from St. Patrick's Day. But I absolutely loved it. It was something different about it.
Yeah.
It's probably how fresh it was brewed right there and then.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic. So I had a great time with my friends. It was actually a bachelor party over there, or a stag do. And we had and Ireland was just alight with people. I mean, everyone was out.
Yes.
The atmosphere is always good fun on St. Patrick's Day. Everyone gets together and just has a really fun time. So
yes.
So yeah.
And we love it. I love. Okay, so I love the Guinness gravy. If you haven't had Guinness gravy at London Calling, you are missing something. Literally, my husband drinks the rest of the gravy. That is so. I think Guinness in Ireland or drinking Guinness gravy. I think that probably they would run in the same category to celebrate the day.
The Guinness gravy has been. If you look on our reviews or any of our reviews, people always talk about the Guinness gravy. It's something, I guess, unique, different. It's just got a different flavour to it. Something like you've never tried before. But it's, even though because again, I'm not a big fan of Guinness, but I love the flavour of it. Because the alcohol's been burnt out, and it's just the flavour you get of it. And it's so good. And we keep it in our freezer. We love to keep the quarts, the little frozen Guinness gravy. We throw it in even with our pot roast. But this is exciting. Normally we would have gone to London Calling, got our frozen gravy, got our frozen pasties, and we'd have everything. But you are bringing it to people, and that's exciting. So I am. We are still open at Battlefield Mall, and we're also open on the new food truck park, which is an interesting time right now, obviously. But the food trucks are an excellent place to grab and go.
Yes.
So, the new food truck park is so much fun. It's got 10 or 8 food trucks at the moment down there.
Hey, Neil, tell us where that is.
They're all local businesses as well that obviously need everyone's support right now as well.
Yes.
But the food, an eclectic mix of food there as well. You got tacos, you got Mediterranean food, you got barbecue, you got vegan, you got hibachi. So lots of different flavors all in one place, and that's at East St. Louis Street.
Wow.
And there is like a drive-through. So I know they're kind of promoting drive-throughs right now. Well, a food truck is exactly that. It's a window that you just grab your food from. There's very little contact again, and you're just handing the food out to somebody. So again, it's a great way to support local businesses and stay safe as well. Grab it and go.
And I love the food truck park because you can go to just a lovely open air and everybody can get what they want. Everybody can, if you want the tacos are amazing. We had nacho ordinary tacos. Sorry, Neil, we had another food truck.
Absolutely.
Food the other day. I almost feel like I'm being
that's
slightly
absolutely promoted. The food there is really some of the best food in Springfield. I absolutely agree.
And I love Neil. I love Neil's spirit because this is the thing. He has been always big proponent of the food truck industry here in Springfield, supporting all these amazing businesses because it really is a food truck community. Partnership with all these small businesses. Neil, you're kind of at the groundwork of this because you kind of ignited the flame towards food truck mentality in the city. Tell us about how you been excited about seeing this grow.
Yeah, well, we started it as as an entry level to see whether pasties were going to be successful in Springfield. We didn't want to jump in on a contract with a building for 5 years and risk 5 years worth of rent and everything. And so food trucks were a great way to kind of test the market and test locations, see which location worked, and then eventually to then put a brick and mortar in that place. And so that's where our idea was. But I absolutely loved the atmosphere from a food truck, the fun. You can go to events, you can go all over the place. They're mobile. And then the passion that the person has for that food. Because if you look at any of the food trucks, all the people that own that food truck are the same people that make the food. And typically they're just those people that's just, and when you have that passion for something and then you're able to deliver it from start to finish, I really believe you get the best quality of food and everything that you can possibly get. And the passion that all these food trucks have got is simply amazing. They're doing it because they love the food that they make. They know they can make it well. They know what they're doing. They're very specific in what they're doing as well. And they go over and over and make great food every single time. And they know that, that customer is going to get the best because they're making it and they're doing it. So, and again, the community, the type of person you've got doing that as well is a fun, a passionate, excited person, and God, I want to be around those people.
Yes,
so,
and it's really such an exciting way to support small business. And one thing I really love about Food Truck Park is at the Food Truck Park and food trucks in general is you get really gourmet quality food out of these trucks. I mean, you can't go through a McDonald's drive-through and get the same kind of flavor, the same kind of love, and the same kind of focus on the individual gourmet attention to food. And London Calling just knocks it out of the park every time. So I love working for them. I love I love eating for my job. It's amazing. This is London Calling has put a whole new level of my love for food, and it's also it really brought a sense of comfort to Philip, who came to the States. And here in Middle America, we honestly have the best British food right here in Springfield. Makes us feel home. So with all the different flavors going on with the Mediterranean food, with all that, they really pay special attention not only to quality, but to authenticity and to creativity with the food. It's amazing. So I encourage all you guys to go out to the Food Truck Park. Even if you want to have, you're getting kind of monotonous. There's some monotony to being inside. Send out somebody and grab a couple of things from the different food trucks and bring them home
it's like
to
that
try.
Commercial where, hey, what do we want for dinner? And then everybody has their own idea. If you have that kind of a day, that food truck court is a great place to go, because the sky's the limit. All kinds of different kinds of food are there. And Amber, something else that's really cool is that you do the website for London Calling. So just to make sure that we cover it, how can people go and place an order online? What's the website location?
Well, I'll let Neil say it because he has a better accent than I do. Neil, give us
lovely.
www.londoncallingpastycompany.com.
Exactly.
And then Amber's created a page all by itself on delivery, so it's delivery, take, or bake.
Yes.
And on there, you just simply plug everything in. You can automatically pay there as well. So again, there's no contact with money.
Yes.
Pay with credit card, and then I'll be delivering it to your door.
Yeah, and it's exciting. Do you have any other exciting things that are coming, Neil, that you want to kind of maybe allude to, or do you have anything else that you'd like to add?
Sure. We've the food truck park is exciting as it is right now. We've got more trucks coming, so there's 8 trucks at the moment, and there's space for 2 more trucks. So, when all this. I'm sure in the next month or so, when everything picks up and everything, those trucks will be on board and coming in. And then for us personally as well, every month we have a new monthly special. So we're always changing things up. At the moment, we've got the corned beef and the cherry pie pasty.
Which is really amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. And then next month we've got a broccoli and cheddar pasty, which has always been, it's a vegetarian one as well. Yeah. And then the month after that, we've got the, it's not very British, but for Cinco de Mayo, we do a really good chicken enchilada pasty, which
is really good.
Has been really popular as well.
You've tasted it all.
I have tasted. I'm a taste tester. And Neil, the one thing that you didn't mention, the corned beef pasty has an amazing sauce with it. Tell us a little bit about that sauce.
Yeah, so it's a corned beef with potatoes, and then there's garlic aioli dip on the side.
Oh.
And and that's my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law is the chef, and she has done a phenomenal job of all the dips and sauces and all the pasties, obviously, as well. But if you haven't had our fish and chips at the Battlefield Mall, I'm obviously biased, but I think it's the best fish and chips in town, and I know a number of people have said the same thing. I don't think I've had anybody say they didn't like the fish and chips. It's a really, really good cut of haddock. It's haddock that we use. It's real flaky, and the batter that Kerry's made is just incredible. And then she's got a tartar sauce that she makes with dill. And then she also makes a curry dip. And again, she is a master of sauces.
The tartar sauce is amazing. I haven't had any tartar sauce like this. It is so good. I just
people don't even like tartar sauce say that it's incredible as well. So she's done a really good job.
It is fabulous. And I as I said, in the fish and chips, I have paid twice what London Calling into specific in-town restaurants to have fish and chips, and have not had anything close to what London Calling has. So kudos, you guys need to try it. You guys need to go out, try the food truck park. Once again, where is it located, Neil?
We're at 1530 East St. Louis Street.
1530. Yes.
Yep. So it's just off of Glenstone where the Railhaven Motel is. If you just turn into there and it's just on your left, you'll see the double-decker bus on the side, and then all those food trucks together. It's
so exciting. Thank you so much, Neil, for joining us today.
Thank you, Amber. Thank you very much.
Take care and have a great day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah.
I love talking to Neil.
Yeah, Neil's an awesome guy, and as I said, I'm not blowing smoke when I said this is really honestly the warm place in our heart, and that's what I started working with Neil, is because London Calling food, it was something that we were so passionate about because it was so much like home.
Yeah, and the thing I like about Neil and Carrie and the whole London Calling team is they've always got something going on.
Yes.
There's something new and fresh. It's not the same menu all the time. I mean, you're going to have your favorites, but they like to change things up. From month to month.
And I love it because one of the things that they're doing that's a little bit different is called the London Wrap, which is made with Yorkshire pudding. Yorkshire pudding is it's not pudding. It's a savory kind of flat bread, almost like a pita type bread, and they're putting it in the Sunday roast, which is a traditional British Sunday meal, and they have wrapped up with the Guinness gravy. I'm just gonna leave here and go right to London Calling.
Yeah, there we go.
After my show, I said, Neil, I think I'm just gonna. You can just pay me in food. That's what we're gonna just start.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that.
Way to get your appetite going here. Anybody out there hungry?
Anybody out there hungry? Well, we do have. I think we're gonna just segue to really quick to our food segment, now that our appetite's whetted. But honestly, we don't have British food. We have Mexican sweets right now. And we're going to have Matt come on up.
Come on, Matt.
Come on down, Matt.
And by the way, while we're waiting on Matt to get here, today is called Submarine Day because on March 17th, 1898, St. Patrick's Day, an Irish-born engineer named John Philip Holland demonstrated a submarine he designed, the Holland 6, for the U.S. Navy Department off the coast of Staten Island. And during the demonstration, the vessel was submerged for 1 hour and 40 minutes. He launched the submarine the year before on May 17th after it was built at the Crescent Shipyard in Elizabeth, New Jersey. He was noteworthy for having features that would become the standard for submarines in future years.
I also, real quick, want to mention that we can't mention the grocery stores' names where we get this stuff at.
Okay, so, we won't mention the grocery stores' names.
Just saying.
We don't want to send the business their way more.
No. Well, I mean, no, it's not that. It's a legality issue. We don't want to get sued So.
Okay. Yeah, we won't do that anymore. So,
just saying. Sorry.
Just saying. Okay, that's a preemptive warning from Matt. I'm going to. So I found some amazing little things. Last week I brought in some. The week before last I brought in some things from Japan. And this week we're bringing in some things from Mexico, and this is called conchas.
Conscious?
Yeah, I said it looks like a brain. It does look like a brain.
That is the actual type of food it is.
It is looks like a brain.
Yes,
we
brain
won't mention
food.
the business name
No.
that's on, but these are actually a food called conscious.
Conscious. Yes, and you can probably guess why this is conscious.
Because it looks like a brain?
No, it looks like a shell. It's actually supposed to be
like a
shell.
conch shell.
Concas.
Okay, concus.
Concas.
Okay, so you're gonna have to you have to be our speaker for this segment because I would botch all these. Except if Saf was here, she could have done that.
They smell great.
Yeah.
It looks like a hamburger bun.
Yeah.
With is it cream filled?
No.
There's just vanilla flavored.
Yeah, just break off a little bit.
I'm gonna split mine in half here and have a look. See, it the inside is similar to that of a hamburger bun. Mm-hmm. But it smells like vanilla-y.
He's good, yes.
Well, yeah. And actually, now, the bread itself on the inside is similar to that of a hamburger bun as well.
Exactly. You know what it kind of reminds me of? The slightly sweet Hawaiian bread, but with vanilla.
Like the Hawaiian rolls?
Yes. A little bit more.
That's what it smelled like. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is definitely the
definitely want a glass of milk or something with this.
Yeah, it's a little it's definitely more like a hamburger bun on the inside, but it has a sweet outside.
A vanilla.
Okay. So
now that looks like a coconut dill that is colored in the colors of the Mexican flag.
Yes. There you go. Yeah, so it's red.
Our hands have been sanitized.
Yeah,
by the way.
red, white, and green. Yeah, we're keeping it sanitary here for the show.
I'm gonna eat the green part first because it's what do you call that? St. Patrick's Day. That's good. It's coconutty.
Coconutty. Yeah. It reminds me of is it the macaroons? Cookies?
Oh no, the ones that you buy from those little girls that are part of that scout troop.
Samoa's Girl Scouts cookies?
What is it? Caramel.
Delights.
Caramel Delights. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, very coconutty. Very, very coconutty. Oh my goodness, there's a whole box here. There's a whole, okay. All right, you can pass one over to Matt. Can you pronounce that, Tom?
Paparindo.
Paparindo. Okay.
Yes.
That's what it's called. That's the type of
that
hot
sounds
and
good.
salted tamarind pulp candy.
Have you ever heard of this?
Pulparindo.
I've had tamarind candy, and it's a very unique flavor. When I was in the Job
You
Corps
can smell that, Tom. Go ahead and rip that
in
up.
San
and I know you
Marcos,
can't
Texas,
taste it.
that's one of the things I loved was the different Mexican candies. Tamarind, though, is different than you would expect. I know. You always get that. It's salty, sweet, and tangy.
It's very different. Do you feel a little bit of heat on that?
Well, yeah, there's probably chili powder in it.
Nice.
Actually, this is the better tamarind candy that I've had.
Really?
Some of it, tamarind just has a weird taste to it. Mm-hmm. But this is almost like they've mushed up a bunch of fruit roll-up type
Yeah.
And then added salt and a little chili powder.
Wow.
Yeah. It does have ground chili.
Ground chili. So
it's really good. I like them.
Which one would you do? This?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, you get this as the consolation prize. You get a whole box.
I'd like to thank the Academy. Oh wow, these things are really heavy.
I'll take the coconut.
You can have the coconut. And I'll definitely eat these. These are.
So you never know what you're going to find when you go into the different marketplaces of the international.
There's more than a couple here in Springfield.
Yeah.
They have the Latino markets. Mm-hmm. They have the Asian markets, which you can find anything Asian, meaning Indian food and Chinese food, because obviously they're both in the same continent of Asia. Mm-hmm. But these are really good. I like these.
It's like sweet beef jerky with a chili kick. So.
And it's a little bit of like sourness to it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. So
I like the suckers that are basically they look like corn on the cob, and they're dipped in chili powder. And you have strawberry and watermelon, different flavors. But it's dipped in chili powder.
Oh wow!
And then they have weird stuff that looks like hypodermic needle type, like cartoonishly large, that squirts out tamarind candy, just like this, but in like a liquid form.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
It's weird.
Well, you never know what will come out on the show, and you never know what Matt will eat. So
it's like, let's see what Matt will eat.
Well, thanks, Matt, for joining us.
Hey, thanks for
and
having
while
me.
you get the interview queued up, Tom, you got another interesting fact to share or
story to share? Well, yeah, while we're getting that ready, this is with everything going on crazy in the medical world right now with coronavirus, here is a very positive medical story that came out back in February. A South African surgeon and his team at the University of Pretoria made history by successfully completing the world's first ever middle ear transplant using 3D printed bones.
Wow.
This doctor and his medical team became the first in the world to cure a 35-year-old patient's deafness by using 3D printing technology. He was able to replace the damaged bones of the patient's ear by recreating the anvil, hammer, stirrup, and the ossicles, which make up the inner ear, with similarly shaped titanium pieces produced on a 3D printer. The University of Pretoria believes that the procedure may be the answer to conductive hearing loss, a middle ear problem caused by congenital birth defects, infection, trauma, or metabolic diseases. The groundbreaking surgery was performed at the Steve Biko Academic Hospital, where the patient had lost his hearing due to a car accident.
Yeah.
So this isn't even someone that was born with hearing loss. And the surgery took less than 2 hours.
Yes.
Are you ready, Matt?
Oh, yeah, the video's been pulled up this whole time.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyhow, that's, in the midst of all the craziness going on with, in the medical world, I thought, boy, this would be a great time to share just something wonderful that has happened in the field of medicine.
Well, I just want to preface this video. Leading Hearts Magazine, I do a podcast for Leading Hearts, and we got to meet with Cynthia Simmons, who is our new cover girl. Unfortunately, she couldn't be on the show today, so I'm just bringing the Cynthia to you via the Leading Hearts podcast. And if you guys want to check out this the magazine, leadinghearts.com, but Matt, you're ready to kick it off for us?
Yeah.
All right. Good morning. This is Amber for Leading Hearts Magazine, and I am here with our February issue cover girl, Cynthia L. Simmons. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Cynthia is not only a member of the Advanced Writers and Speakers Association, she has a very interesting ministry because it has a lot to do with history. And I know that it seems like that kind of a a genre. It's just unique to ministry. Somebody who's, how did you get involved in speaking, using history as a part of your ministry?
Well, I guess I use it so much when I'm speaking that it just sort of, because I like it, it just sort of ends up being something I talk about all the time. Whether I'm talking about the Bible or anything else, I end up getting into history.
Yes. Now, is your background, tell me a little bit about your background as far as why that was such a big part of your life.
Well, I grew up just north of Chickamauga Battlefield in Chattanooga. And so there was a big battle fought there in the Civil War. And I grew up climbing on cannons, and I thought everybody did. And so my dad was interested in the Civil War and all the weaponry and stuff. So I got interested in history, and, not just the dates, but the people in history fascinate me. And so whenever I research someone, I have to go see their grave and stuff like that. So I just got interested in history. And so it just kind of wove itself into everything I did.
Wow. Now your latest novel, which you made curriculum to pair with it, Pursuing Gold. Now tell me a little bit about the storyline here.
Well, that is about a Confederate bank. And most people don't realize that money changed in the Civil War. Both sides began to use paper rather than gold and silver. The Constitution actually says that you can't use anything except gold and silver for legal tender. And of course, there had to be some Supreme Court cases to make that legal. And so we think of a dollar bill, and it says on there, for all debts, public and private, but that's not what it was in the Civil War. Especially in the South, there were certain things you couldn't do with the money that was printed. So it was real interesting to get into that. It was sort of a different way into history that kind of catches people's attention.
Yeah. Well, tell me how you wove faith into this story, of course. And that's a big part of who you are and what you do.
Yeah, if we are going to pursue gold, what we're really doing is pursuing God. Because as you think about gold, everybody tends to want it because it's something that can be used for so many things, and it's valuable. We put value on gold. Well, the most important thing to live for in life is God, because He's the thing that's eternal. He is the true gold in life. And so I wove that through the story, that whatever trials and whatever hardships the people in the book went through, they learned that they really needed God more than anything else.
Yeah. Well, I know you go into these homeschool conferences, you're getting ready to go to St. Louis to go to another one. How do you find that kids are more receptive of faith when you're talking about stories of history?
I think stories have always captivated people. Jesus talked about stories in the New Testament when He was trying to tell something to the spiritual people. It just catches our attention when you talk about stories. And so even people that don't like history, if you start talking about a person in history and what they actually did, people start sort of sitting up and getting interested. And so I think it's a fun way to get across what the truth is in the Bible, because if you tell a story from history, you can tell it's really better to live by faith than it is to live without it.
Yeah. What are one of the characters in your book Pursuing Gold that maybe you relate most to?
Probably the main character is Mary Beth. That probably is a little bit of me.
Yes.
Yeah.
What would you say some of the traits that she has that really kind of are you coming out into a novel form?
Well, she's a little bit uncertain, but she just gets out there and tackles things. Even when she's sick, she gets out there and tackles things and chases them down. And of course, Mary Beth is a nurse, which I trained as a nurse. So I wove all that into her character.
Wow. And you said, how much history do you, it probably takes quite a bit of study to do something like this, to get it accurate. What kind of things go into producing a novel like this, in thinking about how you actually craft story?
Well, there's probably about 5 years worth of research behind it. And then if I was going to write in a different era, I have to make sure that I know what they ate, drank, slept, everything. Because we assume people live like we live, and it was very different in that time period. So a lot goes into it. Plus, you have to make your chapters interesting, and you have to make them end on a zing so people will keep reading. And so, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it.
And I'm assuming some of the verbiage, just the articulation, the words that have been used may be unfamiliar to people. How do you try to bring some education in even that area of story?
I tried to sprinkle in enough language from the time that it feels like the time period without making it seem too stilted. People said that not to use contractions, even though they probably did some at the time, and they use different contractions too sometimes. But I'd throw some in. You just have to kind of get the feel of the page to know whether or not it's too much. Because if it sounds too funny, people are not going to read it. It's too foreign.
It's so true. What are some of the greatest things, maybe one thing in your study of this book that you learned for the very first time in your studies of history?
Well, I started studying the herbal medications because I had Mary Beth making her medicines for her father. And as I studied the medications, I discovered that they used about every herb out there for something. And I didn't realize that, they tried everything. And Lily of the Valley is the one that I use for the heart medication, and that is actually accurate. If you ate Lily of the Valley, the leaves, the flowers, anything, it could kill you because it has digitalis in it, which regulates the heartbeat. And you get too much, it can kill you. So that was fascinating, trying to learn all of that stuff.
So, it's probably quite an extensive, of all things of life, recognizing, whether, you're, how they're baking their bread or grounding their flour or different things like that. And I've seen you go into schools and you're dressed up from head to toe in your so how does that, incorporating that into the whole presentation of history, how does that help kids really get a hold of that?
Oh, people love it. In fact, I have little boys come to me and say, I love your dress. And you expect the little girls to do that, but little boys love it too.
That's
And most
awesome.
mothers will come and whisper in my ear, oh, I love that. I wish I could dress like that. So I find it very attractive to everybody.
That's awesome. The homeschool moms and dads have kind of unique challenges. What are some of the ways that you've encouraged them to make learning more fun and engaging?
I think that's the big thing, is making it more fun and engaging, because the homeschool mom has so much to do by the time she runs her house and washes her dishes and clothes and cooks meals. So, you kind of want to get the lessons out of the way somehow or the other, but you really need to make your kids fall in love with school because you want them to want to be lifelong learners. So I think that's the real challenge.
Yeah. The you have this paired curriculum that goes along with the book. Tell me how that started to develop, and what are some of the things? How is that targeted as far as grade range, students?
Well, I kind of designed it for teens and tweens, but if you have a family with a lot of kids and you have younger kids too, they can listen in. They're going to learn an awful lot of stuff. And as I homeschooled, I realized that this is a book that you can read together as a family and then go through the workbook, and everybody can enjoy it. And I've had homeschool mothers tell me we have used it and we love it because we end up talking about all kinds of topics around the table that we would never even have thought of.
That's awesome. Now, tell me a little bit about how parents can get connected with your curriculum and how that's available, and where they can find out. Do you have teaching that you do online, like video? I know that you go to conferences, but do you have some video teachings that you do Cynthia?
I do some video teachings, but not yet on history. I'm just doing little Cynthia chats, which are about 5 to 7 minutes. I do those pretty much once a week. But I intend to start putting some of my stuff online so that people can find it. But you can find me at clsimmons.com. And I'm named after my dad, who was C.L. So I use his initials kind of in his memory. So I'm Cynthia L. And if you look for Cynthia L. Simmons, you can find me anywhere. But my books can be found at Elk Lake Publishing or Amazon, or your Christian bookstore can get it.
That's awesome. Now, you said you're getting ready to teach this homeschool conference up in St. Louis. So everybody up in the St. Louis area, tell us a little bit about that and what people can expect there.
Well, I will be there with my books, and I'll be talking about what I do and sharing bookmarks and free stuff, and hopefully make some good friends up there.
Yeah. What is your favorite food from history that you've actually tried that's pretty much unique to its time period?
Well, I tried to make the bread that they gave the soldiers, the hardtack, and that was a real challenge. And it didn't, even though I baked it and baked it and baked it, it really never turned out right, and it kind of molded after I let it sit for a while. So I can't imagine those people eating it. They had to get it so hard so that it was dry, so it wouldn't absorb any water. And I think, oh my goodness. But as far as my favorite thing would be the tea of the time. There were all kinds of teas that they drank at the time.
Yes. So what's your favorite tea?
I like chamomile.
Yes.
And they would have drunk that then.
Yeah. Wow. And Cynthia, you can reach Cynthia Pursuing Gold, and her Pursuing Gold fiction and curriculum that you can get a hold of. So excited about you being on the cover of our Leading Hearts magazine. I encourage all you guys to check it out, leadinghearts.com. Just text Leading Hearts, all one word, to 64600, and you can connect that with that. Thank you, Cynthia, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. We're going to put all the links to Cynthia down in the comments section. Pursuing Gold. This part of the Missouri was has very rich history in the Civil War, and I don't know how many have dug into some of the Civil War history, but it's actually amazing, some of the local battles that were fought here and Wilson's Creek battlefield, and a lot of those things. Very interesting right now because a lot of in-home learning is kind of happening with kids not going back to school for a few more weeks. So you can learn a lot about the Civil War and Wilson's Creek National Battlefield on their website. And I'd encourage you to get Cynthia's curriculum, Pursuing Gold, and the Pursuing Gold, the novel that was based around the Civil War. Tom, do you have any final words for us?
Well, I just want to echo what our friend there was saying, what Matt was saying earlier about Acts Media Group and Acts Ministry, really trying to reach out and figure out ways to better serve the public and to serve our communities. And I love Acts Ministry because they reach out and try to affect and make a difference in areas that sometimes churches that's just not something that churches typically will do. Autism awareness programs. I love what they've been able to do for a friend of ours who needed a kidney transplant, and Acts Ministry was able to step in through some various fundraising efforts and not only help with the the kidney transplant itself, but also with some of the medications that are required afterwards to help maintain that. Right here in this facility, we do a Veterans Church on Thursdays. I think every other Sunday. Is that still happening?
Every second and fourth Sunday.
Every second and fourth Sunday right here. And just so many other wonderful things, including the desire to expand the offerings that are given here on Acts Media Group. So Matt, if you could just kind of jump in and tell us, how can people who are interested in contributing to that and helping to make all that happen, how can they help us out?
Well, I tell you what, you can go to actsmediagroup.com and go down through it. You can see all the cool things that we have, past shows, as well as the Real News Review, many others. You can see what's going on within Acts Ministry. I will note that we are a worldwide ministry. We are reaching the far reaches of the globe from here via the magic of the internet.
Yes.
So we want to partner with you and want you to partner with us and help us to continue to further grow this ministry and continue to further our outreach to people so we can serve where needed and do the right thing and also bring the message of unity in Christ through the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
So actsmediagroup.com, go down. No donation too small, no donation too large. You can set up a one-time gift, or if you want to partner with us on a monthly basis, you can set up a monthly gift there as well. So check it out, actsmediagroup.com. Back to you guys.
Well, it's been a great show today.
Yes, happy St. Patty's Day.
Happy St. Patty's Day. I want to encourage you, you know what, we're all our little broadcasters right now, and it's exciting that we can use that space to be a positive message for a lot of people who are going through a tough time. So I would encourage you not only to step into the sunshine, but be the sunshine out there on the digital world and digital platform. And until next time, this is Amber.
And this is Tom.
Saying, step into the sunshine, be the sunshine, and find something to celebrate today. Take care.